If you finally made it to riding a motorcycle, congratulations, you've upgraded from the 44% of dudes on my channel that don't even have a bike. After your first leisurely ride, you're gonna start to notice the need for some accessories. It's great to ride in parking lots, take spirited runs on the highway, but when it comes to commuting or purposeful riding, you're gonna need some accessories. Being without is one of the worst feelings on a bike. You suddenly realize that you can only buy so many things when you have a bike before you run out of storage space, pocket space, or even stomach space. As you start your motorcycling journey, you might wanna have these 9 essential beginner rider accessories available to you. Before we begin though, it'd be a crime to not tell you about our motorcycle giveaway because time is running out. Seriously, you only have until October 17th to get signed up for the giveaway Yamaha R3 and Suzuki SV650. If you sign up now through Patreon, I'll double your entry counts for the next 2 episodes until we give the bikes away. If that doesn't work for you, you can always pick up merch and use the code DOUBLE2019 to get 10% off your entire order and double your entry counts. So hit the links below, don't miss out for a chance to win our bike and get started. Remember, if none of those work for you, check out our Patreon page to understand how you can enter in completely for free. Now let's check out these accessories. The first one is Bluetooth. The first accessory you're probably gonna want after learning how to ride is Bluetooth. The sound of your engine and wind is gonna get boring, and adding music to your ride will probably be the best creature comfort. We highly recommend the Cardo PackTalk Bold for your Bluetooth accessory. They're a sponsor of the channel, and a reason for that is because they are the OG motorcycle communicator makers. They invented the segment, and they hands down make the best communicator and Bluetooth speakers on the market for your motorcycle. Other units are available, even the Cardo Q Solo if you don't plan on being in a group or passenger talking type of setting. Get confident in riding first and don't let your music or phone calls be distracting. A Bluetooth setup consists of speakers that stick inside your helmet and a controller that attaches to the outside. As you ride, you can control tracks, calls, and volume with the push of a button. Most new riders feel disconnected from the world when they ride because they don't have the same capabilities as their car. Get a Bluetooth and reconnect yourself to the world, and that's going to let you cruise to tunes once again. Number 2 is going to be the phone mount. Number 2 on our list is a phone mount. Why? Because Bluetooth is only going to take you so far. When you use Bluetooth, you're naturally going to want to skip songs, change playlists, or even use apps such as navigation. When you add a phone mount to your bike, you can now see and hear everything, just like in your car. Our recommendation is the Ram X Grip. They don't pay me to say this. I just happen to have one, and I think they work pretty well. They have a universal pivot ball, which attaches to different points on the bike. You can get an adapter for the handlebars or your triple tree, so they basically fit any bike out there. If you own multiple bikes or even a car, you can buy separate adapters and move your mount from vehicle to vehicle. They're some of the best out there, and users haven't reported any problems with them when properly mounted. Your phone mount can also serve as a GPS speed verification or just navigation in general, so you can accurately check your speed. As much as you need to stay off your phone as a beginner rider, it'll help you immensely to see live weather updates, detours in GPS, or other pertinent information. The mount will prevent you from having to come to complete stop just to check a single notification. That being said, please ride safe. Don't be looking at your phone while you're going down the street. Please exercise caution when using your phone mount. Number 3 are frame sliders. The next on our list are frame sliders. If you're a beginner, you should probably have these on your bike before you even start riding. In the event you go down, frame sliders will greatly reduce the damage that your bike endures. If you're trying out tight maneuvers in a parking lot or stall your bike and drop it, frame sliders will keep your bike at 99% or even 100% damage free. For the $60 or so, the price is definitely worth it. Have good helmet, good riding gear, and put frame sliders on your bike. If you think you're not going to go down, you're probably wrong. It's better to have a set of frame sliders and never have used them than have a bike with scratch fairings without frame sliders. I recommend the no-cut sliders because they're probably a direct bolt-on accessory for your bike. Each bike and parts manufacturers differ, so make sure to research thoroughly. Number 4 are zip ties. Number 4 on our list are the world famous zip ties. Whether you call them cable ties, zip ties, or wire ties, they're all the same thing. It's a fast way to tie something up. When you're on your motorcycles, things can go bad. Sometimes a wire, cable, or a fairing will become loose, or even a kickstand switch will go bad. In a pinch, you're gonna need to hold your kickstand switch in with something, and that's where zip ties can come in. Many riders have had problems on the road and use zip ties to fix them on the spot. This isn't a permanent fix, so don't rely on them and don't replace them if they break, just replace the part. If your options are to be stranded or to go home with a zip-tied bike, what would you choose? Don't be overwhelmed by the variety of sizes or the quantities they come in. Grab 5 to 10 or maybe 3 sizes and keep them in your tail or your backpack. They'll always come in handy, I can pretty much guarantee it. It's a bit of a combo one for this one. Number 5 on our list is a tire pressure gauge and an air compressor. As a beginner rider, you need to be able to ride without fearing any mechanical issues or traction issues. One of the most important things to check on your motorcycle will be the tire pressures. Unlike on cars with 2 wheels, the impact of low tire pressure will be enormous and can even get you killed if you've never ridden with low tire pressure. It's highly recommended you get a really accurate gauge by spending more than 99 cents at the hardware store and buy something that's gonna last. Keep the gauge in your bag or on your bike at all times if possible, or at the very minimum, keep it in your garage before you head out for your ride and when you come back. For the compressor, you shouldn't have to ride down the street just to put air in your tires. You won't be putting 80 psi like those big diesel trucks, only about 35 to maybe 40 psi max. You can opt for 12-volt units that run off a car's outlet, or splurge and get a dedicated air compressor that can run pneumatic tools like an impact gun, air ratchet, or even paint sprayers. Number 6 is electrical tape. Ask your wife if it's okay to borrow zip ties and electrical tape out of the bedroom, and she'll probably think you're cheating on her. Wait, you guys don't use this stuff in bed? Known to many as black tape, this will serve you in the same manner as duct tape. Electrical tape makes a really good bandage, tourniquet, or a great tool to repair electrical issues. I would not recommend it for any medical reasons. It's not rated for 180 miles per hour, but electrical tape is capable of keeping two wires from touching, keeping a loose fairing attached, or even making makeshift handlebar grip in case yours falls off. Electrical tape will have similar applications as zip ties, but because it's capable of fixing electrical issues such as bare or broken wires, it's in its own class. A roll of this tape will run a couple dollars, and once you've started riding, you'll notice how helpful it is to always carry this tape on your bike or in your bag. Pro tip, if the straps on your backpack are beating you to death at 80 miles per hour, use electrical tape to keep them neatly secured and out of your way. Number 7, a riding bag. Number 7 is a dedicated riding bag. No, I'm not being snobby here and telling you that your kid's Batman backpack won't suffice on your motorcycle because it was cheap. No, I'm telling you that as a ride around with a normal backpack, you'll find inherent flaws that make your search for something more purposeful. Riding bags are made specifically for motorcyclists, with straps that connect in the center, ergonomics designed for rider in the tuck or leaning in positions, waterproof, padding, and insulated, the list goes on. Riding bags are fully intended to be both aerodynamic and versatile for the rider. All things are considered with these bags. Where some backpacks, such as military assault packs, will have some of the same features of a riding bag, they won't have covered closures to prevent gas tank scratches or adequate retentions for dress shoes. If you're going to be commuting, a riding bag is going to be one of the top items on your list. If you've never seen nor handled one, get to your local shop and look at them. A lot of what goes into them will come to light when you're looking at it in person. Don't let the price of these bags discourage you either. They'll be worth their weight in gold after you've used it for your first time. Their ability to comfortably carry your items will be a game changer and will probably make your commute on your bike just that little bit better. Number 8, we're talking earplugs. What? Yes, earplugs. Even with a stock exhaust on a quiet bike, the sound of the engine and the wind will be enough to cause hearing damage over time and quick. If you're not listening to your music on your ride, consider earplugs to protect your hearing, even though for my opinion, I think you should be wearing them all the time, even if your music is a little bit quieter. It's even more important if you're commuting daily on the highway because you're subjected to the loudest wind noises and a droning engine. Don't worry, you'll still be able to hear cars honking at you and other important sounds while you're riding your bike. Earplugs remove the damaging sounds but still allow you to hear things at a normal volume. If you guys want, Fortnite just put out a really great video on the best earplugs. They always make great stuff. Go watch it. Go learn about them. It's awesome. And number 9, rear stands. Last on our list, and number 9, is the rear stand. This accessory doesn't stay on your bike and you're not going to bring it with you because it's a little too big, but it will become your greatest assets as you learn to wrench on your bike and begin performing maintenance. Even if you're simply storing the bike for winter, a rear stand will keep your tire from getting flat spots. For the do-it-yourself rider, having a rear stand will pay itself off the minute you use it. When you lube your chain, which you guys should be doing every 300 to 600 miles, right? When you go to lube your chain, it's easier to have your rear wheel in the air. If you know you're going to be doing your own maintenance, 100% I recommend you get both stands for your bike. If you're only going to be doing exploratory maintenance, then I suggest starting with the rear stand so you can put your bike's bum in the air. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. How many of these do you already own and how many do you still want? If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or maybe browse through Papa Yam's library collection. I may have the content you're looking for that'll answer your question. Plot twist, I definitely have the video you're looking for. And don't forget to check out our motorcycle giveaway. Seriously, sign up before our new season begins on October 17th and you'll get double entries for these last episodes we produced beforehand. We've got that brand spanking new Yamaha R3 and Suzuki SV650. You're not going to want to miss out on these. Remember, sign up through Patreon and get double chances or merch and use the code DOUBLE2019 to get those double entries and 10% off. Remember, click the link to the merch, use DOUBLE2019, get yourself 10% off and double entries. And if none of those work, hit the Patreon, find out how you can get entered to win completely for free. Thanks again for watching, tune in next time, and I'll see you later. Fact: there's a pigeon named Armando who is worth $1.4 million. Armando isn't just any old pigeon. The racing champ is a Belgian bird that, according to CNN, is the best long-distance pigeon racer of all time. In March 2019, a Chinese financier named Xing Wei bought Armando for the massive sum of $1.4 million, making him the most expensive bird ever to be sold at auction by reportedly a huge margin. That's a weird world we live in. Goodbye.